Welcome to my morning and my personal yoga practice. Dave here is getting dragged into the hallway to make room for filming, and honestly, yesterday and the last couple of days I felt a little bit like Dave, who, if you're wondering, is currently dressed up as Frankenstein from our last Halloween party. The last few weeks have felt like I'm dragging myself through a tough period with the business, with the ME. Don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying this time. I'm learning a lot about business, about new skills, and even more about myself, my patterns, what helps, what doesn't. But it's stretching me in a good way, and it's also unsettling. I feel uncomfortable a lot. I'm pushing my own boundaries and stepping outside the old comfort zone. All of this challenges my brain and nervous system. And as you can see, the moment I rolled out my yoga mat, I flopped onto it like it was the end of the day. And I'd only just moved from bed to the living room, which took about an hour because the last thing I wanted to do was move today. There are likely two things at work here. I can be really tough on myself. It's an ongoing process to notice and celebrate my wins and more. And this feeling of flopping, of slowing down, of fogginess, it's likely a signal from my brain and nervous system to pause and listen. So my practice this morning was just that, a check-in, a moment to slow down, to tune in and ask, what does my body need today? What have I been doing, carrying, expecting over the past few days, weeks and months? How much load am I and my nervous system really under? And it got me thinking, for those of us with ME, CFS or other chronic conditions, our nervous systems are probably already doing more than we realise. I wonder, have you ever heard the phrase nervous system regulation? Do you know what it means and why it matters? Today I want to explain it with a simple analogy I love, the threat bucket. I mentioned it briefly in my video, What is Slow Power, and now I'd love to dive into it deeper. One thing to understand about the brain is this: it only cares about one thing: your safety. If your brain doesn't feel safe, it'll try to get you to slow down or stop completely so that it can return to safety. Imagine your nervous system as a bucket. Every time something challenging or stimulating happens, even small things, adds a drop to the bucket. Noise, screens, social pressure, pain, and a bad night's sleep, even things that aren't bad, like travel, a phone call, overstimulation, or a change in plans, still add to the bucket. And if you're living with a chronic condition, your bucket might already be half full the moment you wake up. With conditions like ME, myalgic encephalomyelitis actually gives us clues to what's going on in our system. My is muscle, algic, pain, encephalo, brain, myel, spinal cord, itis, inflammation. So in essence, ME is muscle pain and inflammation of the brain and spinal cord. Those symptoms alone may already be filling your bucket. You're not starting from empty, which is why overwhelm can happen fast. And when the bucket overflows, your system shifts into survival mode: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, or shut down. Your brain sends signals to change your behavior, so you might feel pain, fatigue, stiffness, anxiety, nausea, muscle weakness, dizziness. You might feel wired and restless, or totally flat and disconnected. That's your brain saying, stop. This is your tap out system. It's actually a clever system. Learning about it helped me become more mindful of what's filling my bucket, even on quiet days. And just to be clear, I'm not saying all your symptoms come only from an overloaded nervous system, but this could be part of the puzzle, because nothing in the body happens or functions in isolation. So what does regulation actually mean? Nervous system regulation means learning how to empty the bucket. It doesn't mean being calm all the time. It means helping your body shift between states rather than getting stuck in survival mode. And your nervous system should be able to move between these states. And the wonderful news is, even the smallest things can help. A breath, a moment of stillness, a movement that feels good, saying no to one more task. Each one tells your brain, you're safe. You don't have to fight right now. You can rest, relax. So many are walking around with full buckets, and often we don't even realize it until we spill over. Regulation isn't a state we stay in. It's a practice of returning again and again to safety in the body. And here's what helps me the most. If we can tap into the brain and spinal cord, the nervous system, which we can, through breath, movement, and meditation, to name a few. And if we can reduce the stress or threat inside the system, then we can start to empty the bucket. It doesn't mean symptoms vanish overnight. It's not a fix-all or a promise, but with consistent practice, the nervous system begins to shift and learns to be able to move between different states. And some symptoms can reduce or even disappear. Understanding that makes me feel less broken. It makes me feel empowered because I know what's happening and I know what I can try. I can influence how I feel in my body instead of feeling like my body is running me. Next week, I'm going to share a breathwork practice where we explore how we can soothe the nervous system and empty the bucket. If this video was interesting, there's more like it. Subscribe and hit the bell icon. I post a new one every week. You're always welcome here whenever your bucket feels too full. Take what you need, leave the rest, and I'm sending love. Have a great day, guys.